Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going to really do a deep dive
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
into a fascinating corner of the literary world.
Okay.
Um, so we're talking about, romance, fantasy, devoted fans, and a new
Mm-hmm.
best-selling author who's really making waves.
Right,
We're
yeah.
talking about Rebecca Yarros and her Empyrean series.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, specifically the latest book, Onyx Storm.
Okay, cool.
I'm excited to jump into this one.
Sounds like a good one.
It really does seem to be everywhere right now. Like, you see it all over online.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's got that kind of, buzz that we saw with, like, Harry Potter.
Oh, wow, interesting. Yeah, that's a big comparison.
It is, but it
Right.
really seems like
Yeah.
it's got that kind of energy around it, Like,
So like a cultural phenomenon kind of thing.
yeah, exactly. Like, it's not just a good story. It's
Like
something
like
that's
it's tapping into something bigger. Yeah.
And one of the articles we read actually compares it to that Harry Potter phenomenon. They talk about these
Wow.
midnight release parties, fans showing up
Dedicated
in
fans.
costumes, the whole 9 yards.
That's amazing.
It's really incredible. So what do you think it is about this series that's creating such passionate fans?
Well, I mean, just from what you're saying, it sounds like the Empyrean series, it kind of like it hits all those points that, make a good story.
Yeah.
So captivating. First, you've got that world building, that blend of fantasy and romance or romantic.
Exactly, a term. Yeah.
I know it's catchy. It's catchy.
Yeah.
And then you've got those like complex characters that
Right.
readers can really connect with.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I've
Yeah.
heard so much about Violet and Xaden.
Yeah, I mean they're battling those personal demons and those external threats, all while navigating this like super passionate and like often turbulent relationships. Yeah. Lots of drama.
Oh, I love the drama. Yeah. Yeah. But it's not just the characters and the plot, right?
Yeah.
It seems like there's
I know, for sure.
this whole world that extends beyond the pages,
Definitely.
especially with online communities like Book Talk.
Oh, absolutely. Book Talk, yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's been a major force in
Yeah.
this whole thing.
Yeah. And it's not just, reviews and stuff. It's
Right.
like fan-created content.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You've got
Those
Alani's aesthetic edits, character analysis,
dramatic reading.
dramatic readings. Oh, I love those. Yeah.
Well, they're the best.
And it fosters this whole sense of community.
It's like a community.
Yeah.
Yeah, that traditional marketing just can't replicate.
Right. It's totally organic.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of the articles we looked at really
Okay.
dives into that Book Talk impact. And I mean, the numbers they're wild.
Let's hear them.
Okay. So it topped Amazon's bestseller lists
Wow.
and sold over 300,000 copies
Okay.
through Barnes & Noble alone in its debut week.
That's incredible.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, just in the first week. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And I think it really speaks to,
Well, it's that Book Talk algorithm.
yeah,
Right.
it's so powerful.
It thrives on that engagement.
Mhm.
So when fans are creating and sharing content, it pushes the book
Yeah.
higher and higher in visibility.
Totally.
And then you get more views, more hype, and more sales.
More sales, exactly.
It's a brilliant system.
And Yarros, along with authors like Sergei Maas,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
have really capitalized on this
Yeah.
fan-driven promotion.
It's smart. It's very smart.
Yeah, it's really smart. And speaking of, fans and that kind of energy,
Yeah.
Yarros had this recent appearance at the town hall in Manhattan,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and the source describes a capacity crowd, 1,500 people cheering, laughing, chanting, "Yes, Queen." It sounds like a rock concert.
Oh, my gosh. That's wild.
I know. It's
Yeah.
what a great
I'm amazed.
example of that
I know.
online fandom
Yep.
translating into
Yeah. Real world.
real world.
Enthusiasm.
It's amazing. Like, I mean, it just shows you that she's built this really
Yeah.
dedicated fan base who are so invested in the story and in her.
Yes.
Like, it's really incredible.
Yeah. And we even have this anecdote about
Yeah.
this fan named Alyssa Math who incorporated Yarrow's book event
Wow.
into her bachelorette party.
No way. That's commitment.
I know. She traveled all the way from Maryland with her friends.
That's amazing.
I mean, that's dedication.
Yeah, that's true fandom right there.
It really is.
It's more than just reading.
It's an experience.
Yeah, it's like they're connecting with the characters, the story.
The author, like, on such a deep level that it becomes part of their lives, you know?
It's amazing. It's really amazing.
It is. It is.
Okay, so we've definitely established that Rebecca Yarros is a literary rock star.
Sure.
Onyx Storm is breaking records.
Yeah.
And Book Talk is just fueling the fire.
Absolutely.
But let's dive into the woman behind the phenomenon, you know. Who is Rebecca Yarros, and
a good question.
What makes her tick?
Well, I mean, one thing that stands out from what we've read is that, you know, despite this meteoric rise to fame, she seems pretty grounded.
Yeah, she really does.
You know? She emphasizes the importance of balancing her writing life with family and those real life experiences.
Yeah, one of the articles actually includes a quote where she talks about, you know, finding meaning in those everyday moments with her family.
Oh, that's nice.
And not getting swept up in the whirlwind of online fame.
It's refreshing.
It is. It's so refreshing to see, you know, an author prioritize those personal connections amidst such immense success.
Because it can be easy to get caught up in all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It really can. And it makes you think, you know, is that part of the appeal?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That she's so...
Like her perspective resonates with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. The idea that success isn't just about, you know, bestsellers and book signings and stuff. Yeah. It's about finding that fulfillment, you know?
Yeah.
In those simple everyday moments.
It's interesting, right? Because it makes you think, you know, does her grounded approach actually translate into the authenticity of her
That's a good question.
characters and stories?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I think when an author writes from a place of genuine experience and values, you know, it can add that depth and that relatability
for sure
to their characters, even in a fantastical setting.
Right. So she's creating these elaborate worlds filled with magic and these mythical creatures. But at the heart of it, he's still grounded in those.
It's a good balance.
Real human emotions and experiences.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's kind of a fascinating paradox. Yeah, and it makes you wonder how that balance between fantasy and reality plays out in Onyx Storm itself.
Yeah.
You know, what specific elements are grabbing readers and keeping them hooked?
Oh, let's see. Well, one thing that seems to really set Onyx Storm apart is that it's not just like a light, fluffy romance set in a fantasy world. You know?
Right. It's got more depth.
Yeah, all the sources kind of highlighted that.
Yeah, definitely.
That depth, the complexity, the characters facing, you know, real struggles, having to make these tough choices.
Right, and they're dealing with some pretty intense themes.
Definitely, yeah.
And I think that's what people are really connecting with, right?
I think so, yeah. It's that combination of escapism and emotional depth.
Yeah.
Like you get to escape into this fantastical realm, but you still have those themes that feel real, you know, like love and loss, and betrayal, duty, responsibility, all those things that
it's heavy stuff.
It's relatable, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And at the center of it all is this complicated romance.
Oh yeah.
Between Violet and Xaden.
Right.
Who just seem to be like
complete opposites.
And Yarros even shared some fun facts about them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in an interview. Like, Violet's a, like, lavender lemon drop kind of girl.
Yeah. Like that.
While Vaden's more of a, you know, beard.
You're down to earth.
Down to earth, yeah. Their music tastes are completely different, too.
Oh, interesting.
I thought that was...
That's fun. Yeah, I like those little details.
Yeah, and I think it's such a clever way to highlight that push and pull in their relationship, you know?
Totally. Yeah, it hints at those fundamental differences that that create that conflict, that tension that, makes you wonder, how do they find common ground?
Yeah, how do they make it work?
Yeah, especially when they're facing, life or death situations.
Exactly, yeah. And speaking of life or death, Onyx Storm really doesn't shy away from the action and adventure.
Ooh, there's plenty of that.
Yeah, we've got political intrigue, ancient prophecies.
Looming war,
all those classic
fantasy elements, yeah.
Fantasy elements, yeah, that keep you on the edge of your
seat.
Yeah, and it's not just,
It's not just fluff.
Fluff, it's like there's
substance.
Yeah, those external conflicts, they're intertwined with the internal struggles of the characters, and it just makes their choices and their sacrifices
More impactful.
more meaningful.
For sure.
Yeah, and one of the sources mentioned all the discussion that's happening
Oh, really?
online about Onyx Storm,
Okay.
especially on Book Talk.
Uh-huh.
Like people are really dissecting every
Yeah, they're deep diving.
detail. I know.
I love that.
I love it. Why do you think this book in particular is generating so much passionate online discussion?
Well, I mean, it seems like it has all the ingredients for that kind of engagement.
Yeah.
You've got those shocking plot twists and cliffhangers.
The cliffhangers, oh, they're so good.
I know, they keep you coming back for more.
Yeah.
Right. And then you've got these really complex and flawed characters that evoke such strong reactions from people.
Totally. Yeah, I mean,
like love, hate, empathy, frustration.
it's all there.
It runs the gamut.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people they want to debate their actions. They want to analyze their motivations and just share their feelings about them.
It's like a giant
It's a community.
virtual book club.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where everyone's kind of coming together to share their thoughts and their interpretations.
And argue. Don't forget the arguing.
Oh, yeah, of course.
About their favorites.
Especially about their favorites, yeah.
And it's all amplified by
by those platforms like Book Talk.
Yeah.
Where content creation and engagement are like built in.
Yeah. It's the structure of it.
Yeah, like when someone posts a tearful reaction video or a passionate defense of a character's choices.
Yeah.
It sparks that discussion and it pulls more people in.
It's so smart.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see how all this online fandom is changing the publishing world.
It really is.
Yeah, traditionally, publishers held all the power, they decided, which books became successful. But now readers have a voice.
Yeah.
And platforms like Book Talk are giving them that platform.
It's a real shift.
It is. It's a power shift.
Yeah.
Yeah. And authors who get that, like Yarrow, they're benefiting from it.
Yeah.
They're participating in the conversation. They're responding to fan theories.
Yeah. They're really in it.
Yeah, and even incorporating that feedback
It's amazing.
into their writing.
Yeah, it's like they're
It's cool. It's like
co-creating with the readers.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's not just online.
No, it spills over into those real-world events.
Yeah, those packed book signings.
Yeah, the midnight release parties.
It's crazy.
It's like a cultural phenomenon.
It really is.
That's bridging that gap between the digital and
I love that.
The physical.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, people crave that shared experience, that sense of belonging to a community that celebrates something they love.
It's really inspiring.
It is.
Okay, but let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
And delve into Yarrow's writing a little deeper.
Yeah, let's do it.
Beyond just the plot and the characters.
Okay.
What is it about her storytelling that's so captivating?
Well, I mean, one thing that stands out to me is her ability to blend the fantastical with those raw, relatable emotions.
Yeah,
like you're in this world of magic and adventure, but the characters are still dealing with very human stuff. Yeah. Like heartbreak and grief and self-doubt.
It's so real.
Yeah, and that yearning for connection.
Right.
And I think she kind of hits that sweet spot. Between escapism and realism.
Yeah, where you can lose yourself in the world but still feel connected.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And she does it with such vivid imagery and that evocative language that you just get drawn in. You can feel
You feel it.
the character's pain, their joy, their fear.
It's like you're
right there with them.
right there with them.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, isn't that the mark of a really good writer?
I think so, yeah.
The ability to really put you in the...
Yeah, transport you in the heart of the story.
To that world.
Yeah, to make you feel those emotions.
And feel it all.
As your own.
Yeah, and I think that's why readers are so loyal to her work. They connect. Yeah, that connection's there.
On that deep level.
Yeah, it's a deep one.
And they anticipate each new release, knowing they're in for, a ride.
Oh, yeah.
An emotional roller coaster.
They're buckled in.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and we touched on this a little bit before, but it's worth mentioning again, just her personal philosophy seems to really be
woven into her work.
Woven into, her storytelling.
Yeah.
That idea of finding balance.
Right.
Prioritizing those real life connections. Not getting lost in the pursuit of fame.
It resonates with people.
It really does, yeah.
Especially today.
Yeah.
In this
with everything going on.
Hyper-connected world.
Yeah. It's refreshing.
It is.
Yeah, and it makes you think, does that contribute to the longevity?
Ooh, good question.
Of her success?
I think so. I mean, I think readers are drawn to authenticity. They want authors who feel relatable,
genuine, and Yarrow's emphasis on those real life connections, I think that might be key to her ability to connect with those readers.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, but let's zoom out a little bit.
Okay.
And think about the broader implications of this phenomenon.
Okay. Yeah.
What does the success of Onyx Storm and the rise of romantasy in general tell us about
the publishing landscape,
the evolving landscape of publishing?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we're seeing a real shift in what readers are looking for, like a craving for those stories that offer both escapism and that emotional depth.
Yeah, like they want to get away, but they also want something to really
sink their teeth
into. Yeah.
And Onyx Storm is a great example of how authors are kind of,
catering to that.
Yeah.
That demand, that evolving demand.
It's not just about a thrilling adventure.
Right.
It's about characters you actually care about.
You're invested.
Relationships that you invest in. Yeah.
And themes that resonate.
Yeah, those themes that you're like, oh, I've been there.
I felt that.
I felt that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and again, we can't.
Oh, and book talk, right?
Yes, book talk. We
can't forget book talk.
Cannot underestimate
huge impact.
The power of book talk.
Yeah. I
mean, they're really driving.
They're not just reviewing.
Same trend, yeah.
No, they're creating content. They're sparking discussion.
It's this whole.
It's a shared experience.
Shared experience, yeah. That goes beyond.
It goes way beyond
just reading the book, yeah.
It's really cool.
It is. It's fascinating.
So we've talked a lot about Onyx Storm, but I'm kind of curious about this. This broader genre of romantasy. Oh yeah, good point.
What is it about this particular mix of romance and fantasy that's just
grabbing everyone?
Yeah.
Well, I think it offers like this really unique escape,
Yeah.
This world where the stakes are just so high, not just for their hearts,
right,
but for
like kingdoms,
the fate of the world.
Yeah.
It's this combination of action and romance and magic that
all there
just lets you immerse yourself.
Fully immerse yourself.
Yeah, it's like the perfect.
It's the recipe
for escapism.
Yeah. But what sets, successful romantasy apart from just like a typical romance novel?
Oh, that's a good question.
Set in a contemporary world.
Well, I think the key is that world building.
Okay.
Romantasy authors, they create these intricate worlds with their own rules, magic systems, social structures.
Yeah, it's like
it just adds this depth and this complexity.
Yeah, it elevates it.
Yeah, it elevates it beyond,
It's not just a regular
ordinary
romance.
Yeah, exactly.
And it allows for,
right, the epic battles.
The mythical creatures.
The fantastical.
Yeah, all that stuff that makes it more exciting.
more exciting, more captivating.
Yeah, more captivating.
Yeah, it's that sense of wonder and possibility.
That wonder, yeah.
That just draws you in.
And keeps you hooked.
And keeps you hooked, yeah.
So, okay, so we've got this this really captivating genre.
Yeah.
This talented author who really knows how to connect
Yeah.
with her audience.
And who gets them.
And a passionate online community that's just amplifying her success.
What a combination.
It's incredible.
It is.
What do you see as the lasting impact of this
Oh, that's a good question.
whole thing?
I think we're going to keep seeing the lines blur between authors and readers.
Yeah, for sure.
Between the online and the offline world.
And the offline, yeah. It's all...
Yeah, and those authors who embrace that, those connections, those authors who engage with their fan base, I think they're going to thrive.
Yeah, they're going to thrive. And it's almost like
it's a co-creation.
Co-creation, yeah, where the author sets the stage, but the readers help shape the whole experience.
Right, with their discussions, their fan art.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It's really cool, yeah.
It's really cool, and it's exciting to think about the possibilities, you know.
The possibilities are endless.
With stories.
What's next?
What's next? Yeah, what stories are going to come from this this whole...
Yeah, and how are authors and readers going to continue to shape the future of storytelling?
Yeah. It's a big question, and it really underscores the point that we're not
passive anymore.
We're
active.
We're actively
participants,
participating in shaping these stories.
It's a good reminder that stories have the power to connect us, to transport us, to spark conversations, that go way beyond
the pages
of a book. Yeah,
and that's
in a world
powerful
that often feels divided. Yeah, that's a hopeful.
Yeah, that's hopeful
message.
It is hopeful. Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive.
I know, time flies.
It does, into the world of Rebecca Yarrow.
Yeah.
And Onyx Storm. We explored romanticy.
The power of book talk.
That
relationship between authors.
The evolving relationship between authors and readers. It's been a really interesting...
It has.
Hopefully this has...
sparked some curiosity.
Yeah. And inspired you to maybe...
Yeah, to check out...
Onyx Storm.
For
yourself.
And maybe even, write your own tales of love and adventure. Magic, yeah. Until next time, happy reading, everyone.